Good morning, everybody. Eric Golden here, just here to say hello and welcome you to the day after Christmas. I don't know how many people will actually show today, but we are all here. As you can tell, if you're looking at the screen, I'm the only one that's visual on video. I didn't shave and I'm still here. It's okay, by the way, we're not looking at you, but it's always nice if you are able to connect with us through audio. If you're not driving, it's great if you're on video as well. It helps us interact better in this training class. Again, it is a training class. Monday. Oh, Tara, you're driving. No reason for you to be on camera if you're driving for sure, but I did want to say hi. You are muted. You can come off mute if you want to and say hi if you'd like.
Hi, I'm riding actually. I'm driving back from Virginia to Texas.
Oh, good. Well, hope you had a Merry Christmas and glad you're here. You're more than welcome to stay on as well. But we are recorded. I want to remind everybody that we do this every Monday for level 1 training. Level 1 means I really just want to get started with agent attraction. I don't exactly know what to do, or I don't exactly know what to say, and I don't exactly know who to say it to. And if they say something back, I don't know how to exactly respond. I don't exactly know how to set goals for myself. I don't exactly know how much time this will take. I don't exactly know whether this is something I'm going to be good at. And what you should know is it's worth it. Let's start with the end in mind. I want you to understand that the people that come to this training on a weekly basis on Monday, and it's held every Monday at the exact same time, the people that come to this class on a Monday basis, they do effectively change the way they look at their finances, because they wake up a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road after coming to this class, learning what we do, starting to implement it in their daily activities without feeling like it's something that's strange to you, because we can teach you how to do it where it's part of who you are and what you do. And you'll wake up in a year, or you'll wake up in 2 years, and all of a sudden you'll say, oh my gosh, I got $4,500 a month coming in on average. I get $7,000 a month coming in on average. I got $11,000, $12,000, $15,000 a month coming in on average. I'm sure happy that I participated. I'm sure happy that I learned how to ask another agent if they're open to look at what we're doing here at EXP. I want you to understand the experience. The experience is going to be this. We're going to teach you in this level 1 training, if you're here on a weekly basis, we're going to teach you how to connect with agents and ask them a simple question. And part of that question will sound like this. You'd be open to look at why 80,000 agents have moved to our company over the last 4 years. Would you be curious to know why agents just like you are moving hundreds and hundreds a week to our company? And as long as you know that I'm not expecting you to make the change, you'd be open-minded just to take a look. I want you to understand, we're going to teach you here how to connect with another agent so you feel good about that connection. And if they're open-minded, they'll be happy you reached out to them. Before we go any further, a number of you are on microphone. I'd love to say hello. I can tell Cindy and Doug and Royal Property, it looks like you guys have a live mic. Doug, how are you today? You can respond. Cindy, how about you?
I'm doing great, but I am not turning on my camera.
Okay, Paul just turned on his camera. Looking at Paul, I'm not sure I want to look at Cindy. So we're good. We're good. No, not a problem. Look, there's no obligation to turn on your camera. There's no obligation to show up. There is an obligation to decide what you want out of your life. And if you want more value, oh, hello, Sonia. Thanks for typing. Hopefully you're not driving, by the way.
Hi.
You're not driving, are you?
No, I'm not driving.
But you're also not coming on camera, are you?
No, not today.
No se preocupe. It's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm happy you're here. I'm guessing, Sonia, this is your first time you've been here?
Yes.
Yes. And where do you live? What area of the country?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
What part of Atlanta?
I'm here in the Cascade Heights area, maybe about 10 minutes from downtown Atlanta, 10 minutes from, well, 2 minutes from Tyler Perry Studios, and maybe 10 minutes from the airport. So I'm, centrally located.
I know exactly where you are. I'm a Georgia Tech grad. my first year, I actually lived down south of you. I lived right at the airport on the Perimeter Road.
Oh,
I
awesome.
know your area very well. I'm glad you're here. How long have you been with EXP?
About 5 years. However, I've only been working for about maybe 6 months because as soon as I joined EXP, my mom and dad got sick. They just passed away last year, but I had to stop working to take care of them. But I just closed on a $530,000 house this month, and I'm helping my client who's a Olympic gold medalist. I'm helping her to Airbnb it, so I'm doing the property management for her.
Awesome. Well, we're happy you're doing that. And we're happy that you're here. So feel free to be here at any time. Kathy, I made you co-host. If you'd be kind enough to welcome people in as well. Paul, I'm going to make you co-host. If you happen to see anybody in the waiting room, let them in as well.
Okay.
And anybody else want to say hi while we have microphones on? It's a good opportunity for you to say hi, even if you don't want to come on microphone. I mean, on video.
Hi, Eric.
Hey,
Hi,
Brian
everyone.
Decker, how are you?
Good. I'm driving, just so you know, I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, well, you can mute, and again, if you're driving, you're more than welcome to keep camera on or off, totally up to you. Anybody else want to say hello? Welcome. I'd love to welcome you.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, KC. How are you?
Good, good.
You're following the group. You're not video. It's okay. You and I video all the time. I'm glad. See, here's what I love about people. They make their own. I love about people that show up on Monday mornings. You made a decision to show up. Take this as a training point. Take this as the first golden nugget of the day. First of all, I'm honored that you show up on a Monday. I'm honored that I've been asked to train you on a Monday basis. And I've got some great stuff for you in a few minutes. I want you to know we're going into the new year, and just like the title of this talk is tick tock, boom, we're about to explode, I promise you. But here's what I need to tell you. You made a conscious decision to join us here on Monday morning, 10 a.m. Central, the day after Christmas, December 26, 2022. So I want you to understand that every decision you make is a decision that you've made. If you want to build a revenue share group, you can, but you have to make a decision. If you want to learn how to contact agents and feel good about what you're saying, then you have to make a decision. I'm going to learn how to contact agents so I can feel good about the decision. If you're going to block time in your schedule on a daily or weekly basis so you can perform the activities that we're going to talk about today in agent attraction, I want you to understand the golden nugget number one is everything you need to be doing needs to be a conscious decision until your habits are designed where you no longer have to think about them regularly. I'm very famous for a statement, a number of statements. One of them is this: you're working too hard and you're thinking too much. Most people are working way too hard because you're thinking way too much. Life does not have to be that difficult. Now, I'm not trying to tell you making change to your existing habits are easy, but I can promise you until you face those habits, you're never going to make the change. You know, we've often heard that comfort lies just outside, right? Your comfort zone. True comfort, true success, true change is just outside your comfort zone. And here's why. The best version of you has developed you to where you are right now. They've developed you to where you are right now and delivered you to where you are right now. As a realtor, look at your business. If you're a really good realtor, you're the one that put you there. If you're not the realtor you want to be, you're the one that put you there. I'm going to spend this Thursday at noon Eastern, 11 Central, doing a live podcast. And it's all about mindset for 2023. It's all about the concept of how do I change the person I am to be the one I want to become. Now, if you notice, I didn't say anything about I don't like the person you are. And I'm not saying you shouldn't like the person you are. Heck, the day after Christmas, you should love everything. But the truth of the matter is this: You came to this class today. You came to the class this morning, not because you're curious, but you're curious to know whether there's something that I can share that'll help you have a better life. Whatever a better life means to you. And we're going to get to specifics in detail in just a minute. But the biggest problem with most people is they want the specifics in detail before they're ready to go after whatever specific or detail I give you. I'm going to give you between now and the next 45 minutes when we're done, I'm going to give you exactly what to do, exactly what to say, exactly when to say it, and exactly how to respond. And I'm going to give you an exact image projection of what your life's going to look like when you do it. And you're still not going to do it. And the reason you're not going to do it is because your habits are going to suck you right back into the existence that you have today, which again, let me remind you, it's not a bad existence. I want you to look at what you've done over the last year. I know the market shifts right now. I know the last 4 to 7 months, you have felt a major shift, and your mind right now is on the shift in the market. Golden nugget number 2. It shouldn't be a shift in the market. It should be a shift in your reaction to the market. You should be spending more time thinking about what you're going to do next based on the market rather than been thinking about the market itself. Now, here's the problem. This is the normal way people think. Oh, the market's shifting. Okay, I got to get ready. Now, what's the market shifting like? Well, interest rates are going up. It's not as easy to find listings as it was before. If we do, the buyers have sort of all bought. Negotiations aren't as good as they were before. I can't get from my buyer what I got before. I'm not sure I can get the percentage I was getting before. I got to remake it. That's what you end up going through, that process of, oh, the market's shifting. What do I have to do? And then we go back to thinking about the market again. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If I stayed quiet for the next 30 seconds, by the way, which is very difficult for me to do, but I'm going to. I'm going to stay quiet for 30 seconds. And in that 30 seconds, the only thing I want everyone to do, now if you're driving, keep focused on the road, but think about this. If you're sitting there and you're not on video, don't distract yourself with something else. Think about what I'm about to ask. You're about to solve something that will propel you into potentially an incredible 2023. And we're about to do it right now at 12 minutes into the recording. You ready? We're not even a quarter of the way in, and we're about to change your 2023 perspective completely. You ready? Here goes. In the next 30 seconds, I want you to think about one thing that you need to stop doing that'll make your career at EXP, whether it be on the transaction side or the real estate attraction side of agents, either one. What's the one thing you know you need to stop doing? And it may be related to real estate or not related to real estate, but it's robbing you of developing your career further. One thing. I'm going to stay quiet for 30 seconds. And then at the end of the 30 seconds, I want you to, if you will, unmute your microphone and just tell me, or go to the chat box and write one thing that's robbing you of time, mindset, attitude, money, that you can eliminate. You could eliminate. It's hard to do or easy to do, but if you don't eliminate it, you're going to be stuck in 2023. Ready? 30 seconds. What's the one thing top of mind you can stop doing that would give you something that you don't presently have? Go. It's 15. What is If you want to come on microphone, unmute yourself. If you're driving, just do it safely. Go down the road. We don't need to hear from you today. But if you're sitting somewhere, jump on microphone, unmute. Tell me one thing that you can stop doing that's robbing you of the person or career that you want. Everybody's writing fear and procrastination. Procrastination. Anybody got anything? Even if it's procrastination. Anybody on microphone? Tell me.
Eric,
Oh.
I need to utilize my evening time a little better after dinner. I could be either exercising more to be in better shape, or I could stop watching TV and read a book or do YouTube, but something more developing rather than mush time, you know.
We're going to talk about that in just 1 second. Remind me of the term forced multiplier. Anybody else? What else is robbing you? Anybody? Verbally? Nobody. Everybody. Wow, I got Ofer, Christopher, Doug, Cindy, iPhone 2, ha, Tara, Brian, I know you're driving.
All right, I can
yes.
speak. This
Go
is
ahead.
Sonia. Sometimes you can be around toxic people and you don't realize that you're kind of, not in the right environment. So it might be more important to remove yourself from that environment.
Can I ask you this question? You just said, and you don't realize it's the wrong environment. Do you really not realize it, Sonia?
But sometimes you try to say, well, this is a loved one. I need, you want to be in that space, but then if they're negative and not doing what has to be done. So now I know it, but I mean, so yeah, I probably need to, have an office or have a space where I go where I can really, really focus and stay positive and do what I need to do.
Okay, I'm going to talk to Paul. First of all, thank you for sharing that. Very important. Paul, I'm going to get back to you with force multiplier. I'm going to get back to you, Sonia, in a minute. Remind me of the word focus. Okay, just remind me that. We'll get back and we'll solve that for you. Anybody else have something they want to share? I'm going to handle the procrastination thing that everybody's talking about on the side and the fear thing. We're going to talk about that at great length. And we are going to talk about agent attraction today. I want you to understand, you're here for the hour. It's my hour. You're spending it with me. So let me divide it and then conquer. Anybody else want to share something else they think that may be robbing them of the person or the time they want to be? Anybody? Okay. So, and again, it works always best if people want to communicate. But here we go. It says, getting out of my comfort zone. Tara, we've talked before about things, procrastination. Okay, I'm going to handle the two things we've already talked about briefly. We're going to handle force multiplier and focus. Then we'll hit procrastination and fear. I'd like to Shanara, nice to have you here. Welcome from Chicago. Would love to, if you can come on microphone, would love to have you say hello and tell me what part of Chicago you're from, Shanara, if you can. If you can't, that's okay. We'll give you a second to come on microphone if you can. If you can't, no problem. There you are.
Hi, good morning. So I'm from the south side of Chicago. So I do the south
South
suburban Cook County.
Are you from the island, like Rock Island, or I'm kidding, island, the island. Where are you from? What city, town?
Chicago.
Okay, no, because I was in Lansing, Calumet City for a while. I was over in Hoboken, Flossmoor. I've been in Olympia Fields. I lived on the north side. I was just curious. Are you in Chicago?
Yeah, I'm in Chicago. I'm in the Bronzeville area, like 5 minutes away from Barack Obama's house. I'm on the south side of Chicago.
Well, wave by and tell Michelle I said hi. Okay, good.
All right.
Shanara, how long have you been with us? EXP.
Yes, for 4.5 years.
Perfect. And have you been thinking about agent attraction, doing any agent attraction, or you're coming to this class to learn what to do in agent attraction?
So I'm definitely need to start doing more agent attraction. So I have not been focusing on agent attraction. The agents that I've attracted are pretty much agents I know or agents, but nothing that I've done to attract agents.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we're glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. We do this every week on a Monday. Okay. And we will.
Awesome.
Good. So stick with us. Here we go. Everybody. Thanks, Shanara, for coming on. Let's start with Paul. I want everybody to understand something. Recruiting people will be the easiest thing you'll ever do once you feel good about it. And you won't feel good about it until you understand it. And you won't understand it until you're with us long enough to hear how simple it really is. Between now and the end of this time, in the next 35 minutes, I'm going to explain to you specifically how easy it really is, how simple it really is, and how much money you can make by doing it right, because it really isn't about recruiting agents. It's really about your mindset when recruiting agents. Because I need everybody to understand this. There's almost 1,000 agents a week coming to our company. You don't need to recruit people. You just need to ask them if they know why 1,000 agents a week are coming here. And if they're curious to know why, they'll look. And if they like what they see, they'll ask questions. And if the questions are answered to their liking, they'll join us. That's not recruiting. That's asking a question that sounds like this. Hey, you know EXP is exploding everywhere. I'm not asking you to come to this brokerage, but I am curious. We have 80,000 agents that have come here in the last 4 years, and they've come for a reason. Are you at all curious to know, would you like to know why agents just like you come to EXP without any pressure? If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. But let's get you in front of the information. Would you be open to that? That's it. That's how it sounds. And to the right person, it's a great contact. To the wrong person, it doesn't matter what you would say. It doesn't matter that you learn exactly how to say it and how to inflect this and how to that what you're saying means less than what their openness to what you're saying is all about. So understand, golden nugget number 3 today. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. You're not going to talk someone into getting into EXP. You're not going to talk somebody into looking at EXP. So get out of your brain, because this handles the fear question, I think. The fear question. Oh, what about if I ask them and they ask me a question that I can't answer? It's not a problem if they're interested. Oh, what about if I call somebody and they're mean to me, or they say, oh, you know, I don't want to talk to you about EXP. Are you really afraid of that? If someone's an idiot when you call them, if someone's mean when you call them, that's because they're mean. It's not because you called them and asked them a question. Understand where fear comes from. Fear comes from feeling inadequate. I'm going to bolster your confidence so that you have no inadequacies. When it comes to agent attraction, you're going to realize, if you come to these classes, you're going to realize that you're doing exactly what you want to do, that you decided to do. And that's this: reach out to agents to see the ones that are interested in finding out why we moved to EXP. Just like when you pick up the phone and you call 100 expireds, you're not looking for the 75 of them that don't answer, or the 23 of them that say to you, you know, you're looking for the 3 out of 100 that go, oh, tell me more. Oh, but I hate those calls. And here's why. Because you keep thinking about the 97 rather than the 3. Do you think that look, if you stick with us over the next 2023, if you're with EXP for the next year, you need to know this. Agents who you already know, who you could call to ask if they're open to look at EXP, those agents, some of them will move to EXP with someone else over the next year. They're going to come, some of them. You just don't know which ones. That's what sucks. It does. Because if we knew which ones, we'd call them. But we don't know which ones. But if you know, oh, some of them will move. Let me ask it a different way. Do you think you're dumb? You think you're stupid? You think I'm stupid? You think Brent Gove is stupid? Gene Frederick, Rob Flick, Sean Sturrock, Kathy Carter, they're dumb. You think the #1 agent from KW in the country, the #2 agent in Caldwell in the world, the #1 broker in Arizona, you think they're all dumb? They've all come. We've all come to EXP. We're not dumb. We may be smarter than everyone else, but we're not dumber than everybody else. We may be equal to everybody else. Here's what we are: open. We were open. When you're contacting agents, you're not looking for people that would be interested in moving to EXP. Golden nugget #4. You're not looking for people that are interested in moving to EXP. You're looking for people that are open to want to know why people move to EXP. And that is the first lesson of the day. You shouldn't have fear, and you should have confidence. And the reason you shouldn't have fear is because you should be prepared. You should know what to say. Oh, but what about if they say this? We'll answer that. We'll explain to you. We'll train you. The training I do on Thursday, same time, same link, is level 2 training. It's for people that are making calls and you're either getting good responses or bad responses. I call it in the improvement phase. Level 1 mindset, training you on what to say and how to say it. That's Monday. On Thursday, level 2 is improvement, tweaking what to say and tweaking the way you think. That's it. Why are you fearful? Here's why. You're fearful because it's the #1 fear in the world. Now, I would say it's snakes or heights. Some people would say it's fear of public speaking. The #1 fear in the world, golden nugget #5, is fear of exposure. In your terms, it's fear of looking stupid, looking like you don't know what you're talking about. Fear of looking like they're in a situation where they're like, oh, I see Tara wrote, fear of getting out of my comfort zone. Now, if you've been around these things, you know sometimes I say things that really bother some of the listeners. I'm about to do that. Tara, fear of getting out of my comfort zone. Okay, what does that mean? That means fear of doing anything new? Because your comfort zone is not new, it's comfort. Trying a new food is fear. Going to a new restaurant is fear. Dating a new person is fear. Learning something is getting out of your comfort zone. So let me explain why you should get out of your comfort zone. Because the person you are today hasn't developed the income stream or the confidence of what you want to become. So you can remain where you are or move. This is a class every week to get you to move. And if I do my job right, then by Tuesday, you're moving. And by Wednesday, you're moving. By Thursday, you need improvement. And by next Monday, you will be forever changed. I need everybody to hear this. Golden nugget #5 or 6 or 7. Maybe it's 5, 6, and 7. If you learn something new today, you don't have to learn it tomorrow. Procrastination. We're going to handle that now, then we'll hit Paul. Procrastination. The problem with procrastination is we all put off till tomorrow something that we can. If you have to get it done, you don't put it off. You get it done. How do I know that? Because if you've got a contract, you have to get in by 6 o'clock today. Guess what most of us do? We get it in by 6 o'clock today. The same person that procrastinates on everything else, somehow you got dressed in Chicago before you left today because it was -14 degrees. Somehow you found your coat. Yesterday I woke up, I'm in Central Florida. Yesterday I woke up, it was 30 degrees, which is very cold in Central Florida. Even the trees were shivering because they don't know what that's all about. But here's what I'll tell you. Before I left the house yesterday, I found my sweater. I really did. We all blame procrastination for our problems. No, procrastination is not to blame for our problems. We are. Everything you procrastinate, you are going to have to do. So when it comes to building a revenue share group, let me give you the 4 things you cannot procrastinate. No, let me say it again. You can procrastinate them if you want to, but you'll never build a rev share group. 4 things that if you decide, I'm going to learn the first one this week, I'm going to learn the second one next week, I'm going to learn the third one in the third week. Do you realize by January 20th, you will have not only learned the 4 things you have to learn in order to recruit, attract agents, but you, by doing it, listen, this is the coolest part. Golden nugget number 8. If you actually learn them, then come January 21st, you don't have to learn them. You've already done it. Oh my God. You know what that means? That means February 21st, you're not going, I really should learn that. By August, you're not like, gosh, darn it. I came to this class 9 months ago and the guy's still talking about the same thing that I haven't done. Because you didn't graduate your mind. You didn't graduate your action. You didn't graduate your activity, and you didn't graduate your income. Here's why. And it's not because you're busy. It's because you just don't prioritize well, and you know it. Now look, if you've got a relative, Sonia, you may live with, that's negative, I'm going to handle your question first. I said the word focus. There's another word for focus. You ready? Here it is. It's called headphones.
Mm-hmm.
I said it. You're in a negative environment. Go grab a headset, not AirPods. AirPods, they don't know what you're listening to. With a headset, they can talk all they want. They know you're not listening. And you know what you're listening to? You're either listening to music that drives you, or everybody, look at my screen, share screen. You're at the freedomteamsupport.com site, freedomteamsupport.com. Someone type that in the chat box, thank you. And you come down here to the brain bucket. And you click on the brain bucket and you listen to the first 7 things we've listed here that'll just change the way you think about thinking. And then you come down and listen to anything you want that'll help you become someone, oh, I love saying this, oh, different than the person you are today. See, I'm the person that says, I love who you are today, but you shouldn't. You should like them. But they haven't treated you very well, unless they have. And if they have treated you well, then you've got what you want. And if you don't have what you want, then you better get pissed off at the person that treated you too well. You. So now that you're pissed off about it, let's get past that, because being pissed off is also something that's procrastinative. If you're mad at yourself today, why be mad at yourself tomorrow if it didn't work today? Just change it. I asked everybody going into this about 20 minutes ago, to think of one thing you need to change that's robbing you of your future. Procrastination and fear was written. Everybody wrote it. Everybody echoed it. Sonia said one thing. Paul said something else. I'm going to handle Paul's in a minute. Paul can wait. He knows he's going to get handled. But I want you to understand this, Sonia. The people that are negative will find an outlet to talk. And if you are, they're gonna find some ear. And if you give them yours, you've given them life. Life for them is death for you.
Wow.
Now, I'm not trying to tell you should shut your mind off to your family members. I'm trying to say, let's take this. We've never met. You wear this royal, you got this royal crown on pillow, which looks awesome, by the way.
Thank
Um,
you.
But I'm going to make a comment because I do this. I've been training people for 40 years and I'm not going to change the way I do it. And I want you to know that sometimes I say something that gets in your grill because you don't know who I am. So pretend you know who I am. Pretend I'm one of those family members and you want to hear what I'm about to say. Here's what I'm going to say. Quit using them as your excuse for not moving ahead.
Okay.
Solve the problem. The
Mhm.
best way to solve the problem is give them a little bit of time. And that time is what you want to give them. It's never going to be enough time for them. And then
Mhm.
slip some headphones on and get into your headspace. Now,
Mhm.
here's the first question. Could you do that?
Yes.
Would that probably work?
Uh, yeah, it could work if I
Okay.
close the door.
Well, wait. Whose door is it?
Mine. My door.
The 11th commandment, right?
Hmm.
When Moses came down and he broke the tablet the first time because he saw the idol, and then he re-etched the 10, he left one off. And we never got it. It's thou shalt not jive thyself.
Wow.
You know what's causing you harm. Stop
Right.
it. Now, here's what's interesting. If you don't stop it today, guess what happens tomorrow? It comes back.
Right.
In fact, you not only gave it permission to come back, but it comes back livelier. You know why? Because you gave it permission.
Wow.
Why, wow.
No, that's excellent. I mean, I'm really gonna, take it in and really apply it. Hopefully I can be more focused. Well, I will be more focused. I gotta
Well,
change my statement. I will be more focused in 2023.
You won't be. I'm not trying to be mean. I promise I'm not. You're not going to be. Here's why. Because habits are hard to break.
Mm.
And so what's going to happen is you're going to have this little guy on your side right here, and you hear a little gal and your little woman. It doesn't matter. So you're going to be, but they're your family.
Mm-hmm.
Don't treat them like that. And they're going to say things like, "Oh, what are you doing? You listen to Madonna." I mean, they're going to say whatever they're going to say to get under your skin. It's what but it's their life that's screaming out at you, not yours that's getting fixed. Okay. So here's success, right? A golden nugget number 9. Success is, ready? Recognizing where you are today, recognizing where you want to be, and taking one step in that direction. That's success. Your step right now is to close the door and put some headsets on. When that works, you'll say, wow, done. I don't have to think about it again. When it doesn't work perfectly, you'll improve it. You won't ignore it, you'll improve it. And the reason I said before that you're not going to make the change is because it sounds good when you're around a group of people that want you to make the change. It sounds horrible when you're alone at 8 o'clock at night and they're rapping on your door. You have to remember that you made the commitment. And every time they bring you back to and I'm going to use this, the dark side, you got to remember yoga is very small. He doesn't scream. All Yoda does is say, knowledge, you know. What's good for you, you know. Start acting on what's good for you. It's funny. People come here all the time. They say, oh my God, it's so simple. And the answer is, it is. We're the ones that make it hard. Paul talks about, and thank you very much for being part of it today. I appreciate it. Hopefully this helps.
It did. Thank you.
Paul, for you, it was force multiplier. For you, it was, I've got to be doing something in the evenings. Okay, some people don't want to. You do. Great. You said, I got to stop watching TV. And you said, I got to start working out. Okay, ready for this? I love it. I love it when you're on camera because everybody can see it. Ready? Start working out while you're watching TV. Oh! Oh my gosh, you can do that? Oh yeah, you can. I don't care what you watch. Give yourself permission to watch Bachelorette. I don't care. But the rule is in the Zorich house, that for the first hour of television after dinner, it has to be done accompanied by working out. And if it's not done while you're working out, then you can't watch it. And that is a commitment you make. Let me digress. Everybody, I'm a huge proponent of your mindset. And I'm pretty much on target when I say your mind has delivered you to where you are today. If you want to be more, you got to change your mind. And the only way to do that is personal development. The only way to do personal development is get around information and people that will breathe into you life. Because you don't breathe life into yourself. You get it from an outside source. You get it from oxygen, you get it from water, you get it from food, you get it spiritually from outside of you. Now, all of those things, especially spiritually, is inside of you. But you have to understand, you have to go outside of the way your brain normally thinks to get additional information. So, Paul, here's how it works. Today is Monday the 26th. I want you to watch TV tonight, and I want you to watch a show that you really like. But I want you to do it with a stationary bicycle. I want you to do it. Now, here's it sound crazy. Go get two Campbell soup cans, 2 Campbell soup cans, and go to your couch. And during the entire time, lift the cans, or stand up and do squats at the couch. You think I'm kidding. Everybody look at my face. I'm not. Progression is progress. I'm a person that says, I can't deny me of TV at night, so I'm going to add something to it. I'm going to force multiply myself. I'm going to multiply 2 things. I'm going to get something I want while I do something I need. Let me say it again. If you want to produce the best experience for you in anything that you're wanting to change, find a way to glue something you like to something you have to do in order to make that change. An example, if you're procrastinating making phone calls, oh, by the way, I said there's only 4 things you have to learn. I will teach you those 4 things before we're off in the next 15 minutes. But I want you to understand, please, if your procrastination is, I just got to call more agents. I know you need to learn what to say. We'll get to that in a minute. But if I want to call more agents and you're procrastinating doing that, if you were all on camera, I'd say, raise your hand, and you'd all say, oh, me, and me, and me. And some of you raised 2 hands. Some of you are procrastinating because you don't have agents to call. Some of you are procrastinating because you don't know what to say. But those aren't the excuses. Because once you have people to call and know what to say, you're still going to procrastinate. Because you're fearful of what are they going to say to me? And we're going to handle that in a minute. But here's what I recommend for all of you. The simplest fix, the absolute simplest fix to making calls for agent attraction. The absolute easiest way to do it. And if you don't do it this way, it's going to be harder on you. And if you don't do it starting today, it'll be harder tomorrow because you've set into a pattern of not doing it. So here's how you do it. Grab an index card with lines on it, and you make a list of 3 to 5 agents you want to call. And you call them before you eat lunch today. And if you don't call them, you don't eat lunch. Oh my God, it's the day after Christmas and I got all this stuff I want to eat. Nope. Instead of Paul working out while he's watching TV, he could make TV a reward, but you don't have to if you're working out. Okay? If you could, you could force, you want a really good workout? Go online to some YouTube presentation of some workout and do what they're doing. That would be awesome, but that won't satisfy your need to watch Bachelorette. I get it, okay? So For you, you can do both. But how about this for everybody else? Why don't you give yourself a reward for doing something new that you want to do? Isn't that what we do with kids? Isn't that the way we train our kids? Don't we? Well, if you don't eat that, I'm not giving you dessert. Anybody ever said that? Anybody ever heard that? Well, do you know that my definition of an adult is a kid with long legs? You're just a kid. And the best way to train you is the way that you were trained, because that's the natural response. If I do this, I get a reward. If I do this, I get a reward. If you look at all the things, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. If you look at all the things that you're procrastinating and doing, the biggest problem with all of them is there's no immediate reward. Think about it. Laundry. So I have a standard with almost everything I do. I call it the golden standard. When it comes to laundry, I made a decision years ago that laundry could take 4 days. Everybody agree? It could. How about starting laundry? Going to do it could take a week, right? Everybody agree? It could. Here's what I decided. Whenever I decide I should do laundry, I do it. Here's what I do. Grab everything I can, throw it all in the washer, set my alarm for 45 minutes later, go in there, put the softener in there so it smells beautiful. Go back 10 minutes later, throw it in the dryer. If I have another load, I start it up and boom. And within 2 hours, 2.5 hours, my laundry is done. Now, here's a question for all of you. By the way, if you are running a household and there's 7 loads, I understand it's different. But for most of us, we're not. The only reason we have 7 loads is because we've been procrastinating doing the first 2. True or not true? So if that's the case, I don't have a laundry problem. Guess what else I don't have? A making phone calls problem. You know why? Because the minute I say to myself, I should do that, I do it. Why? Because it doesn't get any easier. So the lesson in all of this is, if you're procrastinating making calls, make a list of 3 to 5 agents, say, I'm going to call these agents before noon. And then the bottom line is, call them before lunch. If you didn't call them before noon, don't eat. If you didn't call them before 1, don't eat. Oh, but I have to eat food. Go look at the mirror naked and decide if you really need to eat lunch today. You'll get through it. Whew. Kathy, am I fired yet?
No, you're doing awesome. Bring it.
Anybody, I'm about to close out with things you really wanted to learn. But does anybody have a question or comment? I'm scared to ask.
I have a question.
Yes,
I can open my mouth and I can talk to agents, but then I think that right now I'm kind of ill prepared because I'm just now integrating back into the, the real, workforce, you know what I mean? I had maybe 5 agents that saw me online in training, and they wanted to join my team. They called me and asked me. So I think I had 4 Keller Williams agents join me, but I didn't really recruit them. They just saw me talking on the training conference and wanted to join. But long short, I wasn't able to keep focus on them because I was watching my mom die every day, and there was a lot going on with me mentally and emotionally. So it's really hard. My dad died 2 weeks after my mom. It's just been tumultuous, and so I wasn't really able to train them the way I would have on a normal basis. And so I think 2 of them left already. I think I have 2 left, but it just broke my heart because now that I'm ready to get back, into the game and I'm doing great. And I called them and she said, well, I moved to another company. It just broke my heart. I got off the phone and cried. So, I want to know, one, how to prepare, like when you open your mouth, having those, those information to send them right away. So then, have the right thing to send them and the right thing to engage them, or the right person to call to help you. And then after they get on board, the first 6 weeks, how to get them, kind of trained and engaged to do what they need to do. So that's the preparation before calling them and sending them what they need in the moment. And then the preparation after they get in, how to make sure they stay engaged.
Whew, we got a lot to cover in 10 minutes, but it's great questions.
know. I'm
No,
sorry.
no. You're awesome. Dude, you're awesome. And dude, by the way, I lived in San Diego for 3 years. So I say dude to everybody. Don't take offense. Or please don't take offense. Let me start by saying this. I losing your parents that way, very difficult. My heart goes out to you. Let me also tell you, my mom and dad met, and they were engaged in 3 weeks, and they were married 1 week later.
Wow.
And they were together for 35 years, and my mom died, and my dad died 2 weeks after him, unrelated. Okay.
Mhm.
I want you to know what you've been through, I've been through. Now, I'm not telling you that because I'm proud of it, and I'm not telling you to try to get you to do anything. I'm telling you that that's what happened to us.
Mm.
Now we get to respond. And you can stay, and I know you're not using that as an excuse at all. It is a valid excuse
Mhm.
as long as you want to make it one.
Mhm.
And when you found out that an agent came and then they left and you hung up the phone and you cried, some of us should cry when our agents leave, especially because we might not have done all that we should do.
Mhm.
But understand this, everything will happen, my dear, between now and freedom. Everything.
Mhm.
Some of it will be your fault. Most of it won't be. All you got to do is get up, look at what you get up like the king or queen that you are,
Mhm.
survey all around you, and you decide, what are you doing that day
Mhm.
to move your kingdom ahead?
Mhm.
The first thing you do is you realize you're part of a group of 3,000 agents called the Freedom Team.
Mhm.
And we are here. We got your back, because EXP does a great job bringing people in and all that. But to them, unless you go in and interact with them, they don't know what to do with you because they're running 86,000 agents.
Mhm.
We're running 3,000 of you. In other words, we got your back. So the first thing I want everybody to know, and again, I'm going to give everybody some incredible gems over the next 7 minutes, is I want to remind you that there is this thing called freedomteamsupport.com. And there's a calendar of events right here. We also have a workplace group, Freedom Team, part of it, workplace group called Freedom Team. But more importantly to you, just so you know, when you bring an agent in, you fill out an onboarding request right here in the middle. And we will have an admin with us. Her name is Kim. She's awesome. Help your person with you onboard them.
Mm.
So they know where to go and what to do.
Mhm.
So you don't have to do it alone.
Mhm.
If all of a sudden somebody does something really cool, fill out a recognition request. We're going to recognize them in our Freedom Team feed in Workplace and make them feel awesome. If you think today's class was good, oh my gosh, right here, Freedom Team attraction training recordings. We got last week's and the week before and the week before, all the way back for almost a year.
Mm.
Oh, I want more transactions. We all need more transactions. Well, to the left, we do a more transactions training every Tuesday. We have them every week. I don't know if we have one tomorrow because it's Christmas week, but we might. But every week we have them. And here's recordings: probate, sphere of influence, flyers, open houses. We cover it all. And it's the most current stuff you'll ever find. This is in addition to everything EXP does. So if you want to give your onboarding agent the best experience, introduce them to our stuff, and it's all found on Freedom Team Support. And lastly, by the way, anybody that needs leads, we now have a Freedom Team KV Core training that'll not only help you set the websites up, but train you how to get dozens and dozens of free leads every week, and you don't have to split the money with anyone. We got your back. Now, to answer your other question,
Mhm.
what do I do and how do I do it? By the way, if you want to get Kim's information in the calendar, one way to do it is you can reach out to her. Here's her name in workplace chat, Kim Herrera. But if you go to Freedom Teams, if you go to that website that I just showed you, Freedom Team Support, just so you know, you go down to the KV Core at the bottom, it says admin@freedomteamsupport.com. Someone put that in the chat box. Kim will respond to that as well. Admin@freedomteamsupport.com. See, we answered your questions. Let me give everybody what they came for. Here we go. 5 minutes to close. Here's what's interesting. I need everybody to hear this. You're still here. There are people that came and left.
Mhm.
They either didn't like what I was saying or they got their fill, or they had something else to do. I'm going to recommend you stick for the whole hour because what I'm about to share with you is what most of you came to hear in the first place. And I don't know when I cover this stuff, it just comes out throughout the hour. There's only 4 things we do to attract agents. And you can learn each of these, which means you never have to procrastinate learning them. The first thing we do is we make a list. The second thing we do is we invite someone to look. The third thing we do is we show them a presentation. And then the fourth thing we do is we answer questions. The acronym for that is LISA, list, invite, show, answer. Make a list, invite them to look, show the program, answer questions. And just so you know, Sonia, I will teach you how to do each of those 4 things. We don't have time today to cover all of them, but next Monday we'll talk about anything you'd like. Making a list is all the agents you've ever dealt with in real estate, period. And all the agents in your area that advertise. They are all agents, and they all should go on your list, a name and phone number. Invite, we have a script. It looks just like this if you're looking at it, and it's in the Freedom Team Workplace group. If you can't find it, reach out to Kim or myself. We'll make sure, or your upline leader, and we will make sure that you get in that team. But pinned at the very top of Workplace in our Freedom Team group, pinned is the invite. Learn it. The next thing is, what do I show them? Well, there's lots of ways to show them. You can do it live by doing a presentation. You can do it live over Zoom by using one of our recorded presentations. And there's 2 recorded presentations that everyone is using. One of them is moremoneyforrealtors.com. And the password is real estate, all lowercase, no spaces. moremoneyforrealtors.com. And the password is real estate. The other one is the one everybody's used in the company, right? It's called themodelexplained.com. No password. Themodelexplained.com. That's how we show. And how do we answer? We get someone to help us. Because your person is going to ask questions you can't answer, and you need to introduce them to someone not only that knows more, but can tell them a different story. Because I want everybody to hear this loud and clear. Facts tell, but stories sell. So when you invite a partner on, your sponsor on, someone that sponsored your sponsor on, and they talk over Zoom or over the phone to one of your prospects, they can give them their experience, which is probably equal or more positive than yours. If they're only seeing you, they legitimately think the company is only you, and they're evaluating how good you are to lead them to the promised land. You don't want them evaluating you. You want them evaluating the company. And the only way to do that is to show them more than just you. Learn these 4 things: list, invite, show, answer. Learn them over the next 4 weeks. So in February, you don't have to learn them. No procrastination. All we got to do is work on the way you think about the calls that you make. We'll be back on Thursday this week. It'll be the final presentation for training for the year. Feel free to come back. Again, it's a level 2 training. It's normally for people that are calling all the time, but I invite you to come back, and I'm going to leave you with this. On Monday, I'm going to debut something we're going to stick with for a year. It'll put you in a situation where you will be making a year from now somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000 a month passively through the agents you brought in. I'm going to show you on Monday exactly how to develop an income stream through RevShare that will be paying you by the end of next year somewhere between $36,000 and $115,000 a year. Between now and then, the only thing you need to do is quit doing the thing you think you should be quit doing, Paul and Sonia, and start learning list, invite, show, answer. And remember, the biggest part of that is the first part. Make a good list and learn the script. We'll see you at freedomteamsupport.com. We'll see you in workplace group, the Freedom Team. And any other questions before I close out? Anybody?
You're awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Glad you're here. Tell all your friends. Paul, thanks again. Kathy, thanks for being my wingman. And we will talk to everybody soon. Shannara, welcome aboard. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.